Hello everyone, and this is my first session on financial mathematics, and I'm going to be discussing percentages precisely. So let's start. Okay, so let's take an example for a moment that student A scored 26 out of 50 and student B scored 19 out of 25. So how would I figure out whether which of them got better marks? Although, if I say which one of them got more, it's obviously pretty much clear that it's going to be 26 because the number is bigger. But if I have to compare both of them because they both scored different out of different marks. So in order to compare both of them on the same scale, we use percentages. And in order to calculate percentages, there may be multiple formulas, but I don't go with formulas. So it's better to go with an approach which we can use easily. So let's say for student A, the total marks were out of 50, this is marks, and right percentage, so which is maximum percent, which is 100. The score that he made was 26. Let's call it X percent, and we cross multiply them. So this will become 50 times X is equals to 26 times 100. And X is equals to 2600 over 50, which gives you 52%. Let's take out another example for student B. So since I'm applying the same thing, so marks and percentages. So total marks were 25, which is equals to 100 maximum percent, out of which the student B scored 19, which is X. The same method, which gives you 25x is equals to 19 times 100, and x is equals to 1900 over 25, which gives you 76%. So this is now on the same scale out of 100, we can compare both of them, which one scored better. So let's look at some of the questions that we have. Let's say increase 53, a number, by 50%. And what is going to be that? So if I have to solve this, so 53 is the original number that I need to increase. That in percentages is 100%. And if I'm increasing it by 50%, the next will be 150 and x. So 100x is going to be 150 times 53, and x is equals to 150 times 53 over 100. So x is equals to 79.5 after the increase. So I'll solve another one here. So 53 is original number 100%, and then I need to increase 112. So adding this makes it 212% and x. So 100x is going to be 53 times 212. X is going to be 53 times 212 over 100, which gives you 112.36. This is how you increase a percent. Note again that I'm not talking about the formulas here. Straight away, this method applies everywhere. Let's look at decrease. So original number here is 36.2, which I need to decrease by 90%. So original number represents 100% always, and I need to decrease it by 90%. So the remaining percent is going to be 10%. The question is that if you decrease it by 90%, what will be the final number? So the remaining percent is this, and this will be 100x is going to be equals to 36.2 times 10, and x is equals to 36.2 times 10 over 100, which gives you 3.62. Now, one more thing. Let's assume I would have rephrased a different question and I said that find the decrease. Not find a number after decrease, but find the decrease. The same question would have been like this then. 36.2, 100%, 90%. Since the decrease was of 90% and I'm asking you to find the decrease, it will give you the amount that is being decreased. So 100x is equals to 36.2 times 90, and x is equals to, you divide that by 100, so 36.2 times 90 and divide by 100, which gives you x is equals to 32.58. This is the decrease. You can try solving rest of the other questions. So let's look at the word problems that we all struggle with. So 36 people live in a block of flats. So original number of people is 36. 28 of them jog around the park each morning. What percentage of the people living in the block go for jogging? So we're talking about this number. So this number of people go for jogging. So the same method, 36 our total number of people, which is 100%. Out of which 28, they're asking us to find out the number of people going for jogging is x%. So 36x is going to be 100 times 28, and x is equals to 2800 over 36, which gives you 77.8. Just a quick reminder, if I had asked how many people did not go for jogging, so what you could have done is 36 is 100 and then subtracted 28 from 36 would have given you the number of people which were not interested in going for jogging, and you would have found out the percentage. So let's look at more questions. So the Muller family on holidays, they have this much amount of money in dollars. The family spent 15% of their New Zealand dollars on a tour. Calculate the numbers they have left. Now see, now 1962, this is the number of dollars they have, and in percentages, that was the original amount, is 100%. They are not interested in how much money they have spent, which is 15%, but the question is interested in how much money is left. So in terms of percentages, if you subtract 100 minus 15%, which is being spent, there's going to be 85% left. So you are to find that 85%, what is going to be the weightage in dollars. So you write that down. So 100x is going to be 1962 times 85. And after solving it out, I get x is equals to $1667.7 remaining with them. So let's look at another question here. So Arjun earned this much amount of money in 2019. This was an increase. So this amount was not the original one. This was an increase of 9% on his earning, which was originally in 2018. So let's call the amount in 2018 is as the original amount and as an x, because we need to find that out. So that is 100%. The amount, increased amount, in terms of, it was a 9% increase, so it makes it 109. And it was 36,515. You cross them out. So remember, the original amount remains as 100, which gives you 109x is equals to 36515 times 100. And you divide it by 109, which makes it 33,500 dollars. So this is the amount that he was earning in 2018. See, the same question, if I had used different formulas for it, I would have used multiple other formula. I had to remember it as well. There is also a possibility that while solving an exam or test, I may be able to tend to change the subject or forget it. So rather than, we can take these ratio methods, and that works fine. Okay, so now let's look at this one. One month, Gretel spent a total of $360. That's the total amount. So total amount is $360, and in percent it will be representing 100%. She spent 1/5 of this total presents for her parents. Now look at this part. Fractions are involved in it. 1/5 means that if you take out this amount, divide this into 5 equal portions, then one portion of that was spent on for parents. Now, looking at that, so we need to find out the weightage of that 1 out of total 5. So using same, now in this case not percentages, but using same for, let's say we make some compartments of our parents. So 5 is the total chunks, 5 chunks of 360. So 5 represents $360 in fraction, and I need to find out what was 1, what is the weightage of that 1. So I write x here. So this is going to be 5x is equals to 360, and x is equals to 360 over 5. So let's finding it out. So 360 over 5 gives you 72. So she spent $72 buying presents for her parents. Now next, she spent remaining money 2 out of 3 portion for her friends. So friends, and first find out the remaining amount of money. So the remaining amount is going to be 360 minus 72, which is going to be 288. So the total amount now left with her is 288. So this is the maximum amount right now. So that amount, the proportion is 2/3 of 288. So which means the 288 is divided into 3 portions, out of which 2 were given to her friends. So now for fractions, 3 represents 288 and 2 represents x. So this gives you 3x is equals to 288 over times 2. And then eventually x is equals to 288 times 2 over 3. So x is equals to $192 spent on friends. So now rest of the remaining were spent on her sisters. So the amount spent on her sisters, let's find it out. So we know that 72 out of 360, 72 were spent on her parents and 192 spent on friends. So let's find how much money is left with her. Which is $96. The question asks the percentage of 360 out of 360, representing 100%, she spent on presents for her sisters. So $360 in percentages was the total amount, 100%, and out of which $96 was spent on her sisters, which represent X%, and we cross them, which gives you 360x is equals to 96 times 100, and x is equals to 96 times 100 over 360. Gives you 26.7%. So let's look at the last question of the day. Now, if I break this page into multiple sections. Now, so Greg sells car insurances and home insurances. So this is the cost of car insurance, so £200 per insurance, and home insurance is for 350. So his salary is something that he's gonna take home £530 as a basic salary, which means if he's not able to sell any of those insurances, this is the amount of money that he's gonna take home anyway. But 5% of the cost of all the car insurance he sells. So the amount of insurances, all the insurances that he's about to sell, that 5% will be his commission. So commission, in other words, is a middleman's job who tries to negotiate a deal between the first and the second party, and when that deal is struck, for example, in this scenario, the company is trying to sell the insurances and the buyer wants to buy the insurance, and the middleman tries to convince the seller. In this scenario, he's just an employee, but he is trying to convince the buyer, his customer, to buy that insurance policy, and as a reward the company gives, and as a contract the company gives him his 5% of commission and 10% of the commission on home insurances, the same concept. So let's say he sold 6 car insurances. So car insurances, and we have to find out the total amount of money he took in May. So each car insurances is for 200 and he sold 6 of them. So I can write 6 times 6, which gives you £1,200 total. So this is what the company earned. He did not. So his take home is, so 1200 was the total amount company earned, which is 100%, and out of which his share was 5%, which is X. So 100x is going to be 1200 times 5. And I just simply straight away apply that in calculator. So x is equals to 60 pounds. So this is the amount of money he took. That was his cut. So let's talk about car insurances, home insurances. So for home insurances, so one insurance is 350 pounds and he was able to sell 4 home insurances. So 4 times 350, which is going to be 1400 pounds. So this is the amount of money the company earned. So 1400 is 100% total amount, and out of which is 10% that he's gonna get. So 10% is X. If you figure it out the same way, X turns out to be 140 pounds. Now his salary, total salary that he's gonna take home, is going to be the initial salary, which was 530 pounds as his basic pay, plus 60 pounds as a commission on car insurances, plus 140 pounds as a commission on home insurance. So 140 plus 60 plus 530, which gives you a total of 730 pounds in the month of May. So this is more or less about percentages. In my next session, I will be discussing more about profit and loss in terms of percentages. Until then, take care. Bye.